Texas lawmakers passed over 700 bills this year but a proposal for more child care funding, well, it didn't make the cut. That proposal would have boosted child care funding by $2 billion, but ultimately it was left out of the final state budget. The money would have replaced the $4 billion in COVID-related child care funding that dries up in November. And the loss of funding is a devastating blow to child care programs all across the state, many of which can barely pay staff salaries. Our Blessing Uchukwu shows us how this is going to impact kids across Texas.
During the pandemic, the federal government threw a lifeline to child care centers to help keep them afloat. But what happens when that funding wraps up? Adriana Peña is getting dinner ready for her family with a tiny little helper by her side.
Her name is Mia Louise. She'll be 3 in December.
She keeps this working mom busy.
I love work.
But towards the end of July, Adriana had to figure out how she would be able to do what she loves after her daughter's San Antonio Child Care Center shared some unsettling news.
Yeah, I read the email and I told her, I was like, well, get this. They just shut the daycare down.
It got sent out 7:30 and it told us that August 4th was going to be the last day. Very little time to look for a new school, pretty much.
Her daughter had just enrolled in January, so only 6 months had passed.
There in the email it states that COVID and hard times, and she just can't accommodate everything basically that she has to pay in order to keep the facility running.
And this is a facility that has been up and running since 2016, according to the former director. She told me their center also received funding from the government during the pandemic to help stay afloat. This year, those extra funds come to an end.
Our child care system is going to be in a very fragile state as child care programs across the state of Texas use up the remaining child care relief funds that they have.
Cody Somerville is the executive director of the state's largest professional membership association for early childhood professionals. He says what happened to Adriana's former child care center is not a surprise.
There's a good chance that many child care programs will close. Here in Texas, we already have 1,600 less child care programs operating today than we did before the pandemic started.
His organization just wrapped up a statewide survey on the impact of the end of the child care relief funding. Preliminary analysis shows out of the more than 2,100 people who responded, 65% say they would have closed without the government funds, while 26% they are likely or very likely to close without additional funding.
I couldn't sleep that night. It was Sunday night and I was ready for bed and I just was thinking of where am I going to take her after Friday. So it was definitely stressed me out for a week, I'd say, calling and touring different facilities and making sure they have space for her available to start that Monday because I didn't want a gap in coverage. Like, it was a little stressful, yeah.
Those nerves have eased since then. Adriana was able to find another child care center for her daughter, and she hopes its doors will be able to stay open.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. And for more refreshing stories about your community, click the subscribe button right over here. You can also download our Spectrum News app to get live news coverage, weather alerts, and more wherever you are. And don't forget to tune in to Channel 55 on Dish and DirecTV for live local reporting every single day. We'll see you then.